Namaste and welcome to your Yin Yoga class. My name is Astrid van Zon and today I will guide you through a class with a functional approach. There are different ways to do our Yin Yoga practice. And first of all, Yin Yoga is not only about our physical body. We also work, of course, with all the energies. And the practice, because it is longer staying in the poses and not so much entertainment, it becomes a mindfulness practice as well. But then where are you going to focus your mind on? Well, the breath, of course, is your first friend in there. But if we look at the functional approach of what we're actually doing with this body in all these poses, then we can direct the mind also to certain places and look from the function of the poses what we're doing here. And one way in Yin Yoga is targeting the 14 skeletal segments, as we call them. And I will guide you through there. And this is where our focus will be also, actually for you in your practice. And I will let you know in every pose where you can put the mind. All right. So before we go into that flow, know that if Yin Yoga is not your first practice, that this practice is asking you to come from comfort first, from a body with relaxing muscles, and then eventually we can target these 14 skeletal segments. We can target our fascia, the connective tissue, which is holding the whole body together. And from there, this practice becomes very nourishing for the body, the mind, and the soul. Good. What you need for this class is maybe 2 pillows or 2 blocks or 2 of something, and then you're good to go. All right. Let's start by taking a comfortable position. Yes. And that can be cross-legged like I'm sitting, but if this is not giving for you at this time, then find another way to have a comfortable seat. And maybe use your props as well to make it comfortable. Now when you found your seat, then bringing the body forward and backwards where you're sitting. Yes? So the navel going forward, the navel going in, and then focus your mind on your sitting bones and feel how you're rocking over the sitting bones. And eventually finding your center here. The same you can do going to left and right with the body and feel how the weight is going from one sitting bone to the other. You're already being very mindful here and focused in your body at a certain part. And then bringing your weight in the center. Centering yourself on top of the sitting bones. If you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. Let's take a good deep inhale. Audible out. Checking in with yourself if your legs can relax. If there's anything you need to change to your position, to be in comfort. Letting go of any unnecessary tension around the hip joint, the knees, the ankles, the legs. And again, taking a good deep breath in. Exhale, let go. And focusing from your sitting bones along the spine. Change anything to your position when you feel it's not comfortable, you're holding unnecessary tension along your spine, your shoulders, your arms, your hands. And taking a good deep inhale, audible out. And then keep focusing on your breath. So the breath is the awareness and the energy that flows in the present moment. When we focus ourselves on our breathing, either shallow or deep, whatever suits you in the moment, but having our mind focused there, we arrive in that moment. Never too late, never too early, always right on time. And then every exhalation is always this invitation to release, to relax, to surrender to whatever is arising. And sitting here, taking a moment for yourself to set your intention for this practice. This can be the reason why you're here, why you want to practice now. This can be a positive affirmation or your sankalpa, which you repeat gently to yourself. Taking that on your journey together with your breath. And let's give the mind a focus in the body. Directing your mind to your feet. Just experience your feet in your own way. It can be that you imagine your feet, you feel the feet, there are sensations in your feet. Just have the focus there. And be with what is coming up. Without judging it, without having it any expectations to change, let's be present with the feet. And from the feet, being present with your ankles. From your ankles, being present with your knees. From the knees, being present with your hips, and then especially the hip joints, there where the upper leg is meeting the pelvis. Taking a good deep inhale. Exhale. And walking your mind, focus up along the spine, from these sitting bones to the sacrum, over every vertebra that is making your spine, all the way up to the lower back, the middle back, your upper back, till you reach the skull, there where the spine is holding and balancing the head. Taking a good deep breath in along the whole length of the spine. Exhaling. Bringing your mind to focus on your shoulders. Your shoulder blades, which are the wings on the back of your body. Feel how this part is gently moving on your breath. From your shoulders along the arm towards the elbows, which are relaxed. Focusing the mind in your wrists. And then from there, in your hands and your fingers that are resting somewhere on your own body. Taking a good deep breath in. Exhale. Okay, we did a little journey through the different segments or joints in the body. We can keep those in mind for the rest of our practice. For now, maybe with your eyes still closed, you come out of your seat by gentle helping or bringing your legs forward. And just feel how all these different places move. Well, without moving them on instant, just bringing your legs forward and let them rest. Just feel how everything is changing around the feet, around the ankle, around your knees. Placing your hands behind you so you can rest. Feel how everything is changing around the hips. And all these different sensations that now come up while the legs have been in a certain position and are free again. So tapping into all these changes around these skeletal segments, these joints. And being there mindfully, that is a big part of the practice. Not to move it right away and taking everything out that you felt, but to be with all these sensations very mindfully and breathing at the same time. This is what we do in Yin. Good. Alright, we're gonna bring this body in a different position. In a position that is the only actually standing position we do in Yin Yoga. So find your way to a stand. And I'm going to do a little bit of an exploration here. So first of all, I would like to invite you to take a stand not lined up like in any yoga practice you normally do with feet together or anything, but to stand where you're comfortable, where your feet want to go. Yes? For me, for example, then my right foot wants to go way more out than my left. That is my body in this moment, so just let it happen. Yes? This is where I'm comfortable. I'd like you to take your comfortable stand as well. I'm going to turn a little bit away. You are on your mat as well, standing comfortably. Maybe bringing your weight a little bit to left and right to feel what is happening underneath the soles of your feet, and your feet can relax. And eventually finding your center again. Then from here, very mindfully, you're gonna roll down. So not like what you normally do with all the muscles engaged, but with the muscles relaxed, rolling through the spine. So bringing the chin to the chest. The shoulders can already come a little bit forward, so the arms can become heavy. The head becomes heavy and actually leading you down. It's the weight of the head that is pulling now on the spine. That's starting to bring you down. You can flex your knees a little bit to make it comfortable. And then very gently rolling yourself. It's the heaviness of the upper body that is bringing you down to the floor. And then we don't care how much down you go. You go to where you feel like, okay, this is enough for now. And if that is somewhere dangling in the air, you can always use like blocks, not to hold yourself up, but just to be mindfully and softly down. And we're gonna stay here. So make sure that you use your breath to be here. If your hands are reaching the floor, try not to have the fingertips there, but the back of the hands.
Feeling into the sensation along the spine, for example, which is one of those skeletal segments. You have a lot of joints there, a lot of bones joining together. But it's the same. You can focus on your knees, or what is happening around your hips, or even your shoulders. Just give your mind a focus while you're here and breathing, and using the exhalation to relax more in this posture. Now you've been here now for a minute or so. Adjust anything you need to adjust to stay a little bit longer. Be also very mindful, where is your weight? All your weight in the back of your heels. Then bring it a little bit more to the center. You center yourself with the gravity. Is all your weight more in your toes? Then again, bring it more to the center. It's easier for the body to be comfortable, to breathe in this forward position, which we call dangling pose. And you can focus your mind on what is happening in between all these joints. So what do you feel in between your ankle and your knee? What sensations are there? Do you feel some stress building up on your calves? What sensations are there from your knee to your hips? If it's too much, then bend your knees a little bit more. Then what sensations are there from your hips all the way along the spine towards your heavy head? And then the sensations around your shoulder blades, your shoulders, and in your arms. If the body starts to tremble, it means that the muscle is starting to give up. Just fine. You can take deep inhales, long exhalations to let the body relax and feel safe. And then if your eyes are closed, having them open so you're aware where you are. We're going to make our way up gently. And I'd like you to keep your mind focused on the change of the sensations around all these joints. You can help yourself by bringing your hands to your chins and from there rolling back up. Rolling yourself back up through the spine, your head coming last. Having your eyes open, especially when you start to feel dizzy. The body needs to regulate itself from being upside down. Feel that your feet are supported by the earth. When you feel safe, you can close your eyes and feel the body response, how it's restoring itself. Taking a good deep inhale here. Exhaling. Now we're going one more time. But this time I invite you to place your feet different. And then you might notice this will give different sensations in the body. So now placing the feet wider and letting the toes point out. So that means the hips are rotating out as well. And then from there, taking a little bit of a wider stance.
Doing the same thing we did before. Yin Yoga works with gravity. It works with the weight of its own body. And from there, it starts to pull along the tissues. Yes, when we relax, the muscles starts to pull along the connective tissue that holds everything together from joint to joint, from bone to bone. So we go down again. We start with a good deep inhale. Exhaling. Either with eyes open or closed, bring the chin to the chest, and already feel how bringing the head forward, it starts to pull along the spine. Bring the shoulders forward so the arms can be heavy. Having the knees slightly bent while you're rolling yourself down. Maybe you stop when you're halfway somewhere. Just hang in there and feel how everything is pulling from the crown of your head along the spine, all the way to the sitting bones. Having the arms heavy, and start to bring that weight to the floor. And again, you find your own edge. That means you don't have to go so far that you feel pain sensations. We're going as far as that's on the edge of comfortable and maybe nagging, like a little bit uncomfortable, but still breathable uncomfortable. We don't care how deep you can bend forward. It's more about what you feel. So when you arrive in your new position, taking a deep breath in, exhaling. Giving your mind the focus again. The focus can be on the breath or on the theme of this class, like what is happening around all these bones joining together, these joints. Do you feel the pull on the joints? Every exhalation is this invitation to let go. Having this focus for the mind. What is happening in the physical body? Can you feel the sensations around your joints? And can you be there mindfully without wanting to run away from the sensations when they're uncomfortable or nagging? Without wanting to have to change all these sensations when it's uncomfortable? But just to breathe and to use the exhalation to find the comfort in here. To let go of any tension and stress. Maybe noticing as well, the longer you stay, the heavier the body becomes towards the floor. A sort of pull towards the earth. And taking a few more breaths here. And preparing yourself gently again to rise up. Having your eyes open, that prevents you from becoming dizzy. Walking your hands over the front of the body, bending your knees lightly to help. Rolling yourself back up. Ooh, and give it time. We go very slow in Yin. It has all to do with giving everything time, not to rush. Just now to stand here, either eyes open or closed. If you have them open, just have your gaze inward so you can observe what's happening. Observe how the body restores itself, how all the sensations between the joints are changing. And then gently giving the body a little shake, shaking out the legs. So we work a little bit more on the next one with the legs, so it's nice to give them a tiny shake. And shake out the arms. And then we're going back to that wider stance. But in Yin, it's always very difficult to direct you exactly in the pose, because in Yin, you're going to find the pose for yourself. We're going to a squat position, yogic squat, but this is different for everyone. Yes? So for some people, the feet need to be out. For some people, the feet need to be in. Some people have their heels up. If so, then you take something that you can put underneath the heels. So you're not struggling with keeping your weight in the center. You can also roll up your mat and put it underneath the heels. Yes? Because when it becomes a struggle to be relaxed here, then we're never going to go to comfort. And then from there, never dive into Yin. Yeah? So make sure that you're not falling backwards, that you're not struggling to stay in position. And then, in contrary of what you would do in Hatha Yoga, you bring again the weight of the body forward. Now, if you're still struggling with keeping your weight in the center, then you can also use a block and place it underneath your sitting bones. Yeah? And then it's bringing the head towards the earth again, the shoulders forward. So we're rounding the spine. Well, there's a lot of compression in the hip joint, one of these skeletal segments. There is a lot of tension around the knees. There's compression in your ankles. Just feel into all of that. And then eventually, when you adjust it yourself to the correct position for you, then find stillness here. And take a good deep breath in. Exhale. With the same intention that the head wants to be heavy towards the earth. We're staying mindfully connected to our physical body, just observing all these sensations here. So making sure you're not pushing your knees away from you, but you're hanging in between. And this can give a lot of sensations, especially around the hip joints, the knees, the ankles, and the spine. And just be mindfully there, observing.
Anytime you feel you cannot find the starting point of comfort and you're still struggling to keep yourself in this position, please use some props. Put something underneath your buttocks so it gives you some support and comfort.
We will be staying a little bit longer.
An option for the people who are comfortable here. And use the weight of the hands on the head
to create a little bit more pull on the tissues along the spine. But only when you have a comfortable position now. And then you feel into it if it's not too much. If it's too much, you bring your hands back to the floor. So clasping your fingers.
When your head is forward, there's like the highest part of the head. And it's purely the clasped fingers on the highest part of the head and the elbows pointing towards the earth. And it's the weight again. The weight of the hands and the arms. And this weight is pulling and eventually pulling on the tissues along the spine. Just be very mindful with yourself if you're okay here. If not, you bring the hands back. Always watching your edge. Knowing we're staying longer, so don't jump over it right away. And stay for a few more breaths. If you have your hands on top of your head, the first step is to bring them back and already notice the change of that little bit of weight, what it's doing to the body. Then for everyone here,
bringing the head up. When changing where this weight is going, changes a lot along the spine, you might feel. And then let's go for a nice release. Bringing the hands behind you. The buttocks to the floor. And then sliding the legs forward. And then again, let the legs just be as they are. I'm going to take a rebound position in Savasana, but not before you take a prop, either a block or a pillow next to you, so you have it ready. Rolling yourself off, finding the comfort and the support of the earth for rebounds where the body can restore itself. In case you feel your lower back pulling now a lot, then simply place your feet in the mat. That brings the lower back more to the support of the earth. Just be mindful. Watch all the sensations in the body. And invite a good deep breath in to support it. Exhale. Every time we're taking this very mindful in and exhalations, we really connect to the present moment, we focus the mind, and also gives the body a sense of safety. Without safety, there can be no comfort, and without comfort, we cannot go to Yin. If your feet are still in the mat, make the legs long. See how it is now. Taking a few more breaths here in Savasana. Observing how your body is feeling in these moments. And placing the feet back. And then locating your block or your pillow. And then with a gentle push of your feet in the mat, you can raise the pelvis up and place the block underneath. So please don't place it in the length of your body, but place it like it can go underneath the whole pelvis. It's your sacrum resting on the block or the pillow. Starting with the lowest position of the block. Making sure the block is not in your spine. You're not hollowing the back or opening your chest. It's the full pelvis and hip area that can rest on the block. Placing your hands on your lower belly. Tapping into your breath. Use prolonged exhalations. Give the body the sense of safety, so it starts to rest its whole center on the block. Now, depending on your practice, and you might know from yourself when you practice more Yin, that the block can go maybe one stage further, then I welcome you to do so. But also knowing that every time, every moment can be different, I'd like you to stay mindfully and present to the sensations. Whenever you go and jump over your edge, then take a step back. Tune in again, adjust and go. For the ones staying here, just bringing your legs forward, slide them forward. Maybe you have to adjust yourself now on the block again. And for the ones being on the higher, you make sure first that you're comfortable. You might place 2 blocks on top of each other, or a block or a pillow. To be stable where you are. And then eventually bring the legs forward. Then when you took your time to adjust yourself, bringing the mind back into the body, and start to focus on the hips, the pelvis area, your lower back. You take a good deep inhale. Exhale, release. Keeping your mind focused on these skeletal segments, on the hips, your whole pelvis area, your lower back. Feel what's happening there, the positive stress that is created, the little compression in your lower back, the pulling of the tissues and your belly area, your legs. Feel that this is a challenging position for you. And other things than sensations in the physical body are arising, like certain emotions. And let them rise. Keep your focus on your breath, your intention. Staying in these moments where anything can happen. But also anything can dissolve as well in that moment. When you find yourself on that block in the higher stage, be mindful if it's still serving you. If it brought you over your edge, adjust yourself. Keeping the mind focused on what is happening around all these joints. Being with these nagging sensations, this slight uncomfort that can arise in Yin practice. We're pulling on the connective tissue, just holding the bones together in a joint. This pulling between the bones we call stress, positive stress, which is tension, but can also be the positive stress you might observe in your lower back, which is where everything comes together, where there is compression. Either you're feeling this positive stress as tension, this pulling sensation, or compression where everything comes together, gets pressed together. Just be there with every breath. A little bit longer we're gonna stay. And when you place your block in the higher position, I invite you to bring your feet into the mat. Gently push the pelvis up and place your block on a lower position, or take out if you have 2 blocks or 2 pillows. Take one out and reposition yourself in the lower position of this pontoon pose or long bridge pose, and then bringing the legs forward again. And you're going step by step back to the earth, back to the floor. Then from this lower stage, this lower position, bringing your feet back into the mat. Softly pushing into the earth, taking the last prop away and rolling the spine back. Now leaving your feet where they are, bringing your hands on your belly and just breathe and be with the different sensations. Try not to bring your knees in your chest or around your spine. Give your body the time to readjust itself instead of we doing it for the body. Taking a good deep breath in. Exhale. Just be here a little bit longer with all the different sensations that are arising. You're welcome to lengthen your legs, to feel what is happening in the hips and in the lower back when you do so. And give the body time again to be here, to readjust itself, to rebound in all the tissues. And you can help it by taking deep breaths in, long exhalations, and staying mindful in your practice. And bringing the feet back in the mats. Now this time, taking away the props if they're on the side of you, left or right, so they're not in the way. And then bringing your knees to your chest, roll a little bit on your spine. Just rolling left and right, massaging the tissues on the left, right of your sacrum, left, right of your spine. And then bringing your feet back into the mat. We're going for a very simple twist. Leaving everything as it is. So I know in Hatha you might bring the pelvis out of the center to have this perfectly aligned twist. Here we don't care so much about all these alignment in Yin. We just go from where the body is, having the feet in the mats, bringing the knees and the feet together, and then from there bring your knees to the left. And then you end up somewhere here, and then you readjust to comfortability. Maybe one foot wants to go somewhere else, or one knee wants to go over the other. Also checking in with your upper body, where you are, where your arms are. Taking the first minute or so to find comfortability and to adjust the body. Feeling into all these different joints, what is happening around the spine, your hips, your knees, your shoulders. Then when you found your comfortable position, you take a good deep breath in. Exhale, release where you are. And you're welcome to take a few more if you feel it's beneficial for you. You're also welcome to turn your head away from your knees. If you feel that is functional for where you are now, it's helping you. And just be in this twist, which is the third way of building tension in the body. Stress, this positive stress. This could have been this pulling on the tissues, this elongation, this tension. It was the compression that you might have felt in the lower back. And it's also this torsion, this twisting. Like you're wringing out the tissues along the spine, for example. But also in your belly. Making sure your mind has a focus so you can be here in the present moment. Focusing on the physical body. Focusing on your breath, every in and exhalation. Focusing on your intention. The choice is up to you. Bring the mind in focus for the last minute here. Taking a deeper inhalation to activate the mind and body again. Releasing, letting go. And gently bringing the feet back while you roll the spine back to the earth. Letting the spine fully rest. Staying this observer, watching the change in the body while it is restoring itself. You have the choice to keep your feet in the mat or to make your legs long. Do what feels right for you. This Yin Yoga practice is really listening to the body, observing the body, and serving it to its best. And preparing for the other side. Bringing your feet and your knees together. And from there, bringing the knees to the right. Just feel what's happening in the body. Can be very different if you need a pillow somewhere underneath your knees or in between the knees. Choose. Readjust the body to where it's comfortable. If there's this big gap between the shoulder and the floor, then adjust yourself, bringing the arm a little bit closer, might bring the shoulder blade more to the floor. Maybe you need a pillow there as well. Just feel into where you are, what you need, where this body wants to be comfortable to start with. And when you found it, taking this deep breath in, exhale, every exhalation is this sign to the body to relax,
to let go of any muscle tension, to find comfortability, and for you to just be here, to observe. Observing and keeping on checking in with yourself that you're not unnecessarily holding somewhere, especially around the joints. Can they be softer? Be staying for a few more breaths. If you like, you can invite more prolonged exhalations to sink a little bit deeper into relaxation. Then invite a deep breath in. Activate the body to bring it back to the center. Just keep observing the subtle changes and the response. Placing the spine in the mat towards the earth. Then adjusting yourself to come to Savasana. If you need anything underneath your knees, just place it there. If you need anything underneath your head, place it there also. Finding your comfortable position in Savasana, where the body fully can reset and restore. It's bringing relaxation to your toes and your feet. Relaxing your ankles, your knees. Relaxing everything around your hip joint, your pelvis. Relaxing the spine, let it become heavy towards the earth. Lower back, middle back, upper back. Relaxing your shoulder blades and your shoulder joints. Your head's heavy. Your arms relax from the shoulders and the elbows to the wrist and the fingers. Taking a good deep inhale in. Exhale, release. Letting the body fully restore in Savasana, which eventually is also a Yin posture. You might notice
soft pulling, soft compression. Just stay mindful in here, present with your breath and intention. We're closing the practice here together by bringing your hands to your heart space. Feeling how the breath is moving underneath. Your heart is beating in your chest. And reminding yourself of your intention for your practice. We're closing our practice with a grateful thoughts. And leaving the choice up to you to stay here for a little bit longer, Savasana. Or eventually move your body again and very gently coming out and off your mat. Namaste. Thank you for practicing together. Wishing you a wonderful rest of your day.